Hello everyone, welcome back. This is the lecture 5 of the MTJ Live Trades 2025 mentorship. And as you guys know, in the lecture 4, I've took this trade. I've took two trades. The first one was a loss, and then the second one was a win. So I went out with a break-even date. So right now here, I know that I've told you guys that I wanna in lecture 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 only talk about the 930 opening range, the first presented fair value gap model, but right here I today in this lecture, in lecture number 5, in this episode I'm just gonna talk about the 11:50 to 12:10 p.m. macro, which by the way, this is the same model that I've talked about in the first and the second lecture, and I've proved to you guys that this model can be very profitable. It is an easy model to understand. It's not that complicated. So today I'm gonna try to find a trade in this macro, and let's see if we can find anything here, yeah, to take a trade on. So this is the macro time, and today we know that we are above the 830 opening. This is the opening range. The first presented fair value gap is this one, the first presented fair value gap lower. And eventually we are above the London high. The London low isn't placed. And this is the midnight open right here. So we're pretty much above the midnight open. Price has been pretty much bullish so far. So what is the launch hour macro is telling us? So the launch macro hour it's basically a counter trend setup, okay? So we know price has been trading up so far. It hasn't bullish, so we will be looking for a short setup, a trading lower, okay? So right now, we have to wait for a sweep of liquidity, maybe taking out this high or the high here. And as soon as we get that, we can start trading lower. We can start to take a short and eventually aim for these relative equal lows here from the London close. Or even we can look for this one from London close, this low here. But this would be too much of a retracement for the launch macro hour. This is why I'm only gonna be aiming for this low here, okay? And if it trades right away to the low here, then it's completely fine with me. Then there will be no trades for today. Yeah, let's see if we can get anything today. So price has been trading low right now, side of this fair value gap. These four consecutive down close candles and the order block right here. So price is trading down inside the SIBI. Now I want to trade higher and maybe a close above here, trade higher above this high, this short-term high, as a sweep of liquidity. And we have about 7 minutes left. So in this 7 minutes can a lot happen. Price can give us a beautiful, or it might not give us the setup that we are looking for. So right now we have 2 minutes left until the end of the launch hour macro, and we are gonna see if we can get a sit up. So this is a pretty much good area to aim for. This buy side and balance side and efficiency. This is a pretty good level to, to aim for. That price will trade lower, but this is too much of a range, so I don't expect the launch hour macro to do such a big retracement. A trade lower below this low here, that would be enough for me as a retracement in the launch hour. And this is the 15-minute fair value gap. The price might just use it as an inversion and start to trade lower. And as I said before, this is a very balanced price range. This is it is jagged. I don't like this jaggedness. People think that here's the retail traders think like we have relative equal highs here, but me as a smart money trader, I know that this is very jagged, and price has been trading up all day long. It's above the 8:30 opening, above the midnight, above the London high. So and it is also the launch macro hour, so I will only be looking for the sell side for going short, and this way a counter trend, So because I understand discount and premium, I'll be only looking for the sell side. So this here, okay, I might just look, trade higher above this short-term high, and then start eventually go lower. So I am actually gonna aim for this above the short-term high, and as soon as it gets above there, I'm gonna sell, and I'm gonna take only a 7.5% risk, which is above here. 7.4% even, it's not a 0.5% of the account, and I am gonna aim for the sell side right here. And this looks for me like a pretty solid trade, so let's sell, and let's see what is price gonna do. So let me actually, alright, we get filled. We are in that trade. We're selling right here. This is the stop loss, and we are aiming for the sell side liquidity here. So let's see what price is gonna do. If it takes me out of this trade, I'm completely fine with it, because this is not a big, I didn't risk too much. It's a small risk for a big return, a big profit. So this way I'm completely fine with it, even though it might get against me. But because I understand the macro and the launch hour, I know that it's a counter trend, and it's in the opposite bias, in the opposite direction. So smart money will be looking for, taking the sell side. Well, actually it would be the best scenario for me to look for this low here and not aim too long, because the launch hour macro is a counter trend and the retracement is not going to be that big. So this right here, this looks for the retail traders like a bull flag. Okay, they think like, okay, price has been trading higher all day long, and this is the retracement, eventually it's gonna go higher, or whatever their patterns are telling them. And because of their ideology, because of what they are thinking right now, I'm gonna aim for their liquidity, I'm gonna aim for their stop losses. And I know it sounds kind of harsh and it sounds kind of cruel, but this is the reality of trading. For you to make money, someone has to lose money. This is the game of trading, and I'm not gonna feel sad about this fact, because everyone who starts to trade, they understand the risk, they understand they understand that they can lose money, and they are willing to do so. So everyone that is trading, I am not gonna be kind of merciful and feeling sad all day long, thinking like, oh man, why am I doing this? Someone is losing their money, and so this way I can make money. I'm not thinking like that. I'm thinking like, okay, this is the game of trading. For me to make money, someone has to lose money, and for them to make money, I have to lose money. So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm feeling bad, because this is just a game of trading. And if you think that this is morally not correct, then you're not meant to be a trader. So quit trading and do something else, which is not a bad thing, but it is just not for you. So here's the SIBI, side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. Let's see if price trades below this low. So right now retail traders think like, okay, price is returning right now. It trades lower to this order block, which is not a order block, as I said in the in the first and the second episode. This is just a it's a trap for the retail traders who don't really understand the market structure. So this SIBI is another re-entry. I can enter here again on that SIBI to go short again, which is SIBI is gonna be red, not blue, of course, because it's a bearish fair value gap. So right there, a trade to the consequent encouragement, as I said before, I might trade above it, but I want to see close inside it. So right here, okay, it's a close above the 50% level, above the consequent encouragement, which is not what I want to see, but it's still acceptable. It's not such a big deal that I would think like, okay, I have to close the trade. The idea of my model of the idea of this trade has failed. So right here, I thought I want to see a close below this low, but unfortunately it closed below it, traded below it, but it created just a big wick and started to trade higher, and it didn't close below it. And I don't like that. I said that many times, and I say it again. I don't want to see price action do stuff like that like this. I like this one, like a really strong bearish candle with a close below this short-term low. So if it closes below here, I would really like this, and it will support the idea of my trade that price wants to trade lower. So this is what I want to see. Okay, this trade right here closes below it, and then it starts to go eventually to my target. This is what I want to see when I trade. So you can see here, closes below the short-term low, and it starts to trade lower. So this is what I really want to see. And if you guys don't know why I took this trade, or you guys don't understand what the model of the launch hour macro is, you can go to the previous lectures, to lecture 1 and 2. I've talked about the launch macro hour, and I explained to you how this model works, but in the lecture 3 and lecture 4, I'm only talking about the opening range trade and the first presented fair value gap, in this case here, with the first presented fair value gap and the initial high and the initial low. So yeah, let's see how this trade pays out. So at this point, I'm gonna move my stop loss to this short-term high, because it has done enough for me to think like price shouldn't go above there, because I have an order block here, plus price has traded to the consequent encouragement of this 15-minute order block. Let me show you again, guys. This 15-minute fair value gap, not order block, excuse me. This 15-minute fair value gap, bullish, ABC, that price has traded to the consequent encouragement of it, and it starts to trade lower. And this model, the launch hour macro, it looks sometimes, or not sometimes, it looks always kind of scary to take it, because price has been trading up all the way all day long, and all the way to this level here, and it is above the midnight open, above the opening range, above the 8:30 opening, and you think like, okay, the trend is pretty much bullish. But because we understand market structure, and because we understand the algorithmic delivery, and we know the macros and the times of the day, I'm not scared to take that trade, even though it is against the daily bias. because I know during that time frame, during the launch macro, price is pretty much gonna, it's very it's possible, it's very probable for price to do a retracement. Not a big retracement. I'm not gonna be greedy and aim for all the way all this way for this low from the London kill zone, which it might be the case. It might even go all the way down to this level, but yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna be content with the low fruit hanging objective and the easiest target. So this way, it's a pretty much easy trade, and it's yeah, easy to understand. Oh man, come on, I want to just take this one off. Yeah, right here. Okay, so this is a 21 points trade at 21 pips or 21 points or 20 handles. It's pretty solid. It's a good trade for the launch macro hour. And yeah, let's see how it pays out. So at this point, I'm gonna move my stop loss to the break even above the order block, because if it trades all the way up to this order block, and it should immediately start to trade lower. Touch it just below the wick of it, and then start to trade lower. And if it goes above it, it's possible that it still goes lower, but I don't want to be part of that, because my model is telling me move your stop loss at this point to the high of the order block, of the bearish order block. So I've also took this trade because I'm only willing to be a seller in this market condition. Why? Because we are above the midnight open. We have took out the London high. The London low is in place. We have this minor sell side liquidity, which I've also talked about the first and the second lecture. We have the lows from the London session. We have the low from the London kill zone. And we are in a premium market. So if the launch macro hour gave me a bullish setup, I wouldn't take it. I was only willing to be a seller, because I understand the algorithmic price delivery, and because I know that the launch macro hour is gonna be a counter trend. I've noticed that I've written macro 2 times, so let me take one off. At this point, there's not much that I can do. We can only wait and see how price delivers. So I'm not gonna talk any more than that. I have to go again. I'm really sorry. I know I say that all the time, but I really have to go. I have my training. I have to train. Yeah, I've never talked about this, but I'm a kickboxer. I'm a professional kickboxer, and I have to train 2 times a day, and it kind of takes a lot of time, but I enjoy it. I enjoy martial arts. I really like it, and it is also a way for me to let my anger out, and kind of let all of the energy that I have go, and make my mind clear and find my peace of mind. So this way I have to go. I hope you guys find this lesson insightful, and yeah, till talk to you next time. Be safe, you guys.